Hi everyone, welcome back. Trappers Chat Live, January 24th. This will be my last chat hosting. Norm from Time on the Line will be joining us for the remaining chats every Sunday, 7 p.m. Central Time. So we're hoping to have him in a little later on tonight. For those of you who aren't aware, this night's chat, it's more of a general chat. We'll be answering all questions regarding outdoor activities. Us guys that are on the panel, we're going to be discussing our favorite outdoor activities, whether it's fishing with the family, could be anything, could be camping, and then as well could be trapping related. So anything, all the above, all the outdoor enthusiasts out there, if you got questions, whatever, just go ahead and shoot them out, and we'll do our best to keep up with the chat. And so without further ado, we'll start off like we always do. I guess we'll start with you, Aaron. If you want to bring up your I guess I wanted everybody to talk about their 3 favorite outdoor activities, but we'll shoot with what is your most favorite outdoor activity and what involves, and go through. I guess you can bring up the story as to why it is one of your favorite outdoor activities, and we'll just move through the panel, and everybody will get their opportunity to give their 2 cents and share their stories. So, Aaron, if you don't mind, what would you consider one of your favorite outdoor activities, and with who and why?
For me, it's actually probably elk hunting. I love trapping and a lot of other the deer hunting stuff I do, but the elk is my big game of choice. And up until my grandfather passed away, he hunted right up with us until the last season before he passed away. I still hunt with my dad. My little guys, hopefully, another couple years they'll start deer hunting and then move on to elk too. So it's just gonna be one of those family tradition things, and I really like eating it too. It's, in my opinion, probably as good as it gets for wild game meat. So number 1 for me for sure is elk hunting, but the trapping's up there too, just because I could do it for so much longer. And elk season here is 5 days, so maybe that's part of it too. It's just that that compressed season, but sure something else when you get one down.
Mm-hmm.
And how about yourself, NL Ghost Wolf? Charlie, if you want to share your story with us, that'd be great.
I guess for me, it's seasonal. When the spring hits, I got the fishing fever. I would get out salmon fishing, fly fishing, trouting, kayaking. Then when the fall hits, I got to get out there. I got to get trapping, hunting, moose calling. So for me, it's totally seasonal. In the winter, snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, sledding, but overall, it's just getting out, being outdoors, and watching and learning all I can about nature.
And Kirk, how about yourself?
Probably one of my number 1 passions is be the spring muskrat trapping. Just for the reason there, like we have very long winters and stuff like that, so like 5 months out of the year you're wearing heavy parkas and stuff. So it's nice when the spring comes around and everything just seems to come alive. You're out in the middle of a marsh there trapping rats, and all the red-winged blackbirds are all chirping around you, and you got your spring peepers chirping, and all your ducks and geese all nesting in the areas and all that. So yeah, it's that's probably one of my favorite things to do in the spring there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess for me, I'm an avid, I guess, outdoor. I love fishing, but combination of fishing. I like camping, especially wintertime camping, and I guess because no bugs and that sort of thing here in northeastern Canada, we get a lot of mosquitoes and black flies and all the above. So, but for me, I think camping in general, just getting out and just enjoying things a little more simpler ways of life instead of the hustle and bustle of normal everyday routine. So that for me is probably one of my favorites, I guess, is camping. But winter camping is a little more entertaining, I guess,
Yeah.
a little more challenging. So
Is there any activities that you enjoy now and you didn't enjoy when you were a young feller? For me, it's I'll give you an example. It'd be berry picking. I used to hate it when we used to have to go pick berries. As a kid, you know, the whole family went out and you picked as many berries as you can and you jammed them up and whatnot. And then it was cutting firewood. Man, I hated cutting firewood. But as I got older, that's a couple of things that I really love now.
What about you guys? Kirk?
Well, me, I enjoy cooking there now. Before I despised cooking. And, but now, man, you give me a barbecue and a couple big T-bone steaks and stuff like that. But we have a cottage there in the summer. We go to quite a bit. So now I'm getting into the sand baking aspect of it there. Like at night, I'll put on a big pot of beans or whatever, and then when you wake up in the morning, you're eating nice cooked baked beans and stuff like that. So I'm experimenting, doing roasts and ribs and chicken and all that in it. So yeah, I really enjoy starting to do that there now. Before I dreaded cooking. I spent more money at a fast food restaurant than probably did on my truck.
What about you, Aaron?
I think for me, it's probably in the last couple of summers, I spent a lot more time just either hiking or backpacking. I always did some, but it was always such a chore to get out in the woods and do it. But now, especially since I've started trapping more, you know, I'm hiking creeks and looking for sign and kind of multitasking with my day. You know, that's something that I've gotten I'm not a treadmill guy. I'm not really, you know, in that great shape anyway, but being able to get out in the woods and burn some calories, well, that's a lot better way to do it than staring at a wall.
Kirk, there's a question there from West Virginia Trapperman.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to know how much is it for a shirt size 3XL?
My shirts are only, I got a price, actually I'm going to go probably tomorrow and place another order, but my shirts right now are just large and extra large, and I don't know what, I'd have to figure out the shipping. I usually sell them for $20, and then but now the shipping there is just crazy. I know just in Canada alone there it's like $20 to ship one through the mail, so I really can't see somebody spending $40 for a t-shirt or whatever, but that's what I'd probably have to charge if I sell them. But like I say, I don't have anything over an extra large, but we'll be placing an order there probably tomorrow.
Give me 1 second, guys. I just gotta send another invitation out there. So you guys continue on with your chat, and Charlie, if you don't mind, with the chat room questions and discussion, if you want to fill in for me just for a couple of minutes.
Todd wants to know who's working out in the background.
That's me. I'm in. As I mentioned the guys earlier, I'm in Mexico right now. We have a whole family and stuff coming. They're coming up for dinner, so I may have to go find a different spot here in a second. But yeah, I keep moving and they keep following me. So
yeah, fur must be prices of fur must be up when Aaron can go to Mexico.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, we'll see. I just sent everything off last week. We may be traveling on credit right now.
Yeah, I guess our first sale is tomorrow or whatever, so that's really going to show the whole aspect of the prices, and I think hopefully you're not gonna see a whole bunch of disappointed people. Hopefully.
Aaron, it sounds like you got a good crew there coming in behind you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the shaky motion, trying to get away from them. So everybody just be patient with me as I exit stage left here.
Sure.
Boy, geez, I just got back on Friday morning from Newfoundland, and I was able to get some good stories from Dad. Dad's suffering right now with some dementia.
Okay.
So took a bit to get some of the stories out of him, but I got some stories out of him when he was younger and stuff. And his long-term memory is quite good. And he was telling about what it was like to live off the land, and there was 19 kids in his family, 21 altogether, right? So he's got a lot of good stories, and one of the favorite things he said was, sometimes we were hungry, and sometimes we were full. But it just goes to show, they had a hard go, and they had to get their food and whatnot from the land.
Yeah.
So I probably got 40 minutes to an hour of good information stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how I'm going to edit that up yet, and I'll probably do it in this series, probably 5 to 10 minute video clips.
Yeah.
But it should be pretty interesting, I think.
I know that used to be our big treat.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Charlie.
That used to be our big treat at Christmas
Sorry, go ahead.
time when my grandparents used to come over there, and after supper we'd just sit there and they'd start telling us stories of the old days and stuff, man. That was just fascinating, some of the stuff that they did to survive back then there. Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. From making clothes and everything out of the fur, eh?
Yeah.
I thought they sold all the fur, but they didn't sell it all. They used what they could, and they made a lot of jackets and stuff, and mitts, and yeah, I know Dad, even when I was young, he used to make caribou moccasins and stuff like that there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dave's on, but I see his...
Hey, Dave, how's it going, buddy?
I think he has his...
He's not
Oh,
ready to
there you
talk
go.
yet.
Nice shirt, Dave.
That shirt is getting pretty popular, Kirk.
Yeah, actually, like I say, I'm going to put an order in tomorrow, and I'm also getting coffee mugs all done up with the emblem on it and license plates and everything there. So, yeah, I'm going to order a couple samples and make sure they're what I want, and then I'll put the big orders in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely. I'll be wanting all the above. I'll email some money to you, and you can send it out my way. I'd gladly appreciate that. It's pretty cool how it seems every week someone else is getting one of those shirts, and they're proudly wearing it. So it's pretty cool. It's a great community we got on here to share a lot of the neat stuff. So even if it is free wardrobe.
Dave V, we got a question there. West Virginia Trapper Man wants to know how much it is for one of your books.
He's got to turn your sound on, Dave. Turn your mic on, Dave.
Anybody know sign language? Dave.
Yeah, he's monitoring his speech tonight. He wants not to be too long-winded. I'm sure whatever he's saying is super interesting, though.
He's doing the old silent film. Charlie Chapman. We need to get a little mustache on him.
It looks like he's got his helper, so he'll be all right.
Yeah. Little bugs there figuring it out for him.
So I was going to ask you, Dave.
Just wanted to touch base, guys. Sorry, go ahead there, Aaron.
I was going to ask if you'd shipped anything. Are you a NAFA guy or are you a fur harvester? For where you ship yours to?
I'm an NAFA guy myself.
Did you just ship out too out there? Yeah, I ran into I'm going with the late sale this year. I just want to, because every other year we usually rush. Usually the NAFA, they pick up early December for the early sale, but this year it was I think it was the 8th of January the pickup was for NAFA, and I said, you know what, I'm going to wait until the June sale. So I still got all my fur. I haven't even packed it up or nothing yet. I won't be doing that until I think it's March 26th is the pickup date. So I'm going to try that this year. Yeah, I know when I dropped off mine, the guy that does the western part of Oregon has like, I don't know, like 15 stops. And when he got to me, I don't know, I only had like 30, 40 pelts. And he said, well, you about doubled my load. He said that just nobody's shipping anything this year.
No
so,
way.
and I mean, rightfully so, kind of. But I didn't think it'd be that depressed. But I guess we'll see if they sell or not.
Yeah, our sales tomorrow.
I know.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure NAPA had a lot of fur that's backed up from last year that didn't sell yet, and because it's strange, usually they do have an early pickup here for the first auction for NAPA, and they haven't. Like for some reason this year, the guy that collects the fur, he didn't even have it in there for the earlier pickup. So, and I never heard how much fur was shipped out this year from the island, but I'm pretty sure that it wasn't as much as last year. A lot of disappointed fur harvesters out there that just, you work so hard and you're waiting to see whether or not it's going to sell. So I think it's just because it's backed up, I guess. I don't know. I'm assuming the fur harvesters do the same thing, I guess, Kirk?
Yeah, that's what they're saying, Dave, that their warehouse is overflowing right now. They're just from the stuff from last year, so it'll be interesting tomorrow.
Yeah, I always have this theory that what brings a lot of the fur market back around is the Olympics, because if you think about every time there's Olympics, there's a whole bunch of rich people going to somewhere where it's cold. Mm-hmm. So I figure another Olympic cycle in the fashion world might help too.
Yeah.
Dave, I don't know if you can hear us, Dave Vandermeer, but you're still muted, buddy.
Yeah, he's saying he can hear us.
Take your cursor and bring it over the center of the screen, and up on the top of the screen you'll see that microphone. Click that.
Once he gets on, he's just going to be talking like crazy now.
That's a fun catch-up.
Taking advantage of this. Getting back to the stories that you're going to be sharing, Charlie, on your channel, NL Goldswolf, talking about with your dad and stuff, and it's pretty cool, how we look back, like, how did they ever manage to survive and thrive and feed the big families that they had? And I know, like, everybody had big families to help support, to get the I guess the yard work and everything done, from the gardening to all the above with the meat harvest and stuff. But what's interesting is the times that they were around was obviously they worked for pennies and half pennies, and to make sure that we are here today because of their hard work and trust me, they're honest, heavy labor and long days.
Yeah.
Hey Dave, we can hear you now.
Holy heck, what a challenge. That's as hard as snaring wolves, for Christ's sake.
Dave, he talked about chainsaws being modern technology, because when he started in the woods, there was no chainsaws. It was all bucksaw back then, and
you know it.
Yeah.
The first year, I spent a lot of time just cutting firewood. Yeah. A Trapper 234 said he saw 2 wardens chasing me earlier. I got rid of one of them. There were 3 last week.
You're becoming popular.
Yeah.
Not the way he wants to be, though, Dave?
No. Not famous, infamous.
Jesse James.
Yeah, you guys were asking about the fur thing. I looked at the inventories on the FHA sale, and there really isn't a ton of fur on this first sale, but they're picking up a lot for the second sale right now. But NAFA has I think I read on there somewhere 3.9 million ranch mink on this sale.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Dell DJ Hunter on there. He read a text from NAFA that they're not sending many coyotes and sables to the first sale. So
don't have room in the freezer. There's too many ranch mink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's all. That's all they're really selling is the female fishers and coyotes for the sale. The email I got said that all the other stuff that they're not even going to put it on. on the block. I guess just so they don't have to skip all the lots that no one's buying.
Mhm.
But they said basically old inventory and fishers and coyotes. Female fishers, I guess.
Right. Because FHA doesn't sell martin or fisher at this
No, never do any year.
February sale. Fisher.
Oh, West Virginia trap.
Trapper, man, if you go on Amazon, I mean, I can sell a book from here, but I mean, it costs like $20 or $18 to ship it to the States. If you go on Amazon, I think they're only, you probably get them shipped for $20 there. That's for the soft. The hardcover's another $8 more or something like that. Okay, go ahead, guys. You asked me that twice there while I was trying to figure out how to talk.
Is that right? Coon Creek just said he doesn't think that Napa is offering anything but fresh goods. They're not offering anything from storage, and
Why would they? May as well leave it in storage longer, right?
Yeah, I think the letter email I got just said that basically all of their unsold inventory would be available to private trading. I don't think they're actually going to auction it, but I think it's always available if somebody wants to buy it.
Oh, for the private.
Yeah.
If the market don't pick up in the next couple of years, it's going to be really good for guys getting back into nuisance wildlife trapping.
That's for darn sure.
yeah, for sure. Yep.
I remember when I did it, it was back in the late 80s or early 90s, and it was a distemper had broken out in the coyotes and the raccoon and skunk populations, and yeah, it was good for a nuisance wildlife operator getting a lot of calls. Sad to see for the animals because you see in the final stages of distemper, man, that's a sad disease that these animals get, and they really suffer. A good healthy coon, he can last 3 months with distemper, and before it takes its toll on him. And it was hard too, because we used to have to put all the animals down, and then we had to bury them. They had to be all buried 3 feet under.
Well,
That would jack the price up on how much I'd have to charge to get me to kill them then.
Yeah.
you're gonna dig a 3-foot hole for every coon. That coon all of a sudden is worth about $100.
Gary Larson was wondering if the coyote market is going to hold. What are your thoughts on that, guys?
Well,
I think it's probably gonna flood like everything else has.
yeah, because there's a lot of guys
Taking a lot of coyotes, and the guys in North Bay said, I asked them, and they really can't even hazard a guess. They just, everything's up in the wind right now. They don't know what is going to happen.
Yeah, I just wonder how much if the volumes won't get that high because there's so many guys that are just not really trapping this winter. It seems like everybody that I've talked to, not because there's no trappers where I'm at, but just here on YouTube, is for most part either reduced or not at all this year.
Oh, see, up here, it's
the other way. I know guys that have 175 yotes, and other guys that have they're working on trying to get their 100 to 1 and stuff like that around here. These are the guys that just they go mostly after coyotes, but. I got 4, so I'm not flooding the market.
Yeah, I can agree. Yeah, I can agree that I think everywhere a lot of people that in recent years, I guess in our area, and Ghostwolf, Charlie, you can back me up on this. Is when the Pine Marten sales, when the prices started coming back there about 3 or 4 years ago, everybody that hadn't trapped their entire, probably the last decade or even 2 decades, when they started seeing because the pine marten numbers went through the roof with population, and it exploded in Labrador because there were very few people at it. And now that the numbers were back, everybody and their dogs started at it again. And unfortunately, because of it, you've got an overabundance now of trappers, and where there are no designated lines, there's an issue where you got guides that'll have up to like you'll go every 10 feet, and in a tree you look up and you see a marten box. So that's the problem there too, is that you're not controlling the balance of the animals that well, especially with the marten, because there are just way too many people and that ecosystem in that general area just can't be sustained by that many people trapping. And we all know that marten is one of the easiest fur bearers to trap, and so not a lot of them are going to be getting away. So you're taking a lot of the breeders, and there are guys out there that are setting out the first day and they're striking up the last day of the season, and they're really taking its toll on that. Wouldn't you agree, Charlie?
Oh yeah, for sure. And some of these guys up here are running lots of traps too. 300, 400, 500 traps. So you do that all season long. It takes a hit, and you can really flood the market too. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's crazy. You go out, and it's funny in a way. There's so many trails cutting off the high roads, where like you say, every 20 feet down to the high road, you're seeing where guys are going off from one side to the other, setting up these marten boxes. And here in Labrador, a lot of them set them so that they can physically see them right from their vehicle, so they don't even have to get out of the vehicle to check the trap. They just And boy, I tell you, I thought they were crazy at first, but then when you get a heavy snow, it makes sense to be able to check them. Yeah, especially when you're running a big line, like 400 or 500 traps.
Yeah.
But yeah, they ran into a lot of problems. I've seen it here on Facebook. A lot of guys complaining about getting their traps stolen, their animals stolen, and that's what happens when you get people on top of each other. And Big Land Trapper, William Larkham Jr., he had a video where he goes into his one little group of trees, and he has his box in there, and he looks around, and there's 3 more other boxes in there. So you got 4 trappers after whatever marten's going to run into that little neck of trees, right?
Right.
That leads to a lot of problems sometimes.
Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, with the fur prices, I'm pretty sure I picked the wrong year to kill 150 beavers. But oh well. I should make $150 profit off that.
Yeah.
That depends. But were you trapping them all on foot?
Well, I did use a little bit of gas on my quad, I guess, so maybe I'll make $75 profit.
Yeah, you should do okay on your casters at least.
Yeah.
How's that new sled working out for you?
Had lots of casters.
Dave, how's that new sled working out for you?
Absolutely awesome. I just love it.
Now that we got some snow, it's not nearly as tippy.
I got rid of my Bearcat.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, she was a big sled, man. That thing kind of went where it wanted to go. You could carve with it a little bit, man, but you really had to work like a beast to try to get that machine to muscle
that's
that
what
machine.
That's what I love about this thing is it's like the old small machine. You can maneuver that thing with your body weight around corners and stuff. It's not like you're driving a transport truck through the friggin' bush.
Yeah, and that's nice too, because a lot of trappers to get into these going up brooks and river valleys, and there's always, you got the high ground on the sides and the slopes down to the water.
Yeah. You
want to stay at the water, so you're able to side cut the hills with the tundra, right?
Mm-hmm. And I just love this. I mean, I'm running about 200 kilometers on a tank of gas.
Now, do you have the Ace?
Yep, the 600.
Ace, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quiet and really good on gas. That's the best one, eh?
Yeah, it's so quiet.
And they tell me too. There's a couple of guys that on that Facebook page that we started. you put those ski boots on the front. Like I never get enough snow to really need them, but it gives you about an inch extra width, and it takes away about 80% of that tippiness. So.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference, Dave. I just put them on the Viking Professional here, and they're I went with the 11-inch, and I got an extra, like I say, an extra inch on each side of the ski. And with those heavy, because like I say, those 4-stroke engines, they are heavy on the front end. Even that 600 4-stroke that you have in your Ace there, and huge difference. You'll find breaking trails so much more pleasurable, and like I say, even in the areas where you'll find a huge. And I know that engine and that machine you've got, Dave, is probably, if not the best for fuel efficiency on all snowmobiles worldwide, whether it be 4-stroke or 2-stroke, and by far hands down. And if you've got an extra little bit of flotation on the front end, you're not going to be pushing the snow as much as you think you would. So it's not, you're not going to see a difference in fuel burn. You'll really. Yeah,
I'm going to go pick up a pair tomorrow. So
as long as they have them, I'll order them. I guess I doubt they have them there, but
yeah, they're only $80 a piece. That's all they are, and you just the holes are already pre-drilled for the ski rods for the carbides to go through, and you just put a rivet in the front of your ski and a rivet in the back, and most of them are pre-drilled on the front. You just got to drill on the back. So yeah, 5 minutes to decide and done. Even for us mechanically, I guess mechanically not inclined.
Yes, that's right. It's like
I'm a self-professed computer moron too, so
I just same with mechanics. Nowadays, like I open up the hood of that machine and I look in there and I go, oh no way, I'm not even going to try this one.
No.
It's like looking in a truck nowadays compared to before. It's just not something you want to, unless you got some kind of experience.
Aaron, I was going to ask you, do you have any issues with your diesel on your line at all? Have you ever had where you had to walk home or at least pick up the cell phone and say, hey, come get me, I'm done or I'm stuck?
Just in the mud.
No, remember, he doesn't get snow there, remember, Dave?
Yeah. I'm usually stuck in high water somewhere if I'm stuck, but no, I have got stuck a couple times though, and luckily most of my water trap line is on a gravel quarry, and so there's tons of machinery out there just doing whatever. So I usually don't have to walk very far before I can get somebody to come drag me out. But I've gotten a lot better about which roads I'll go down and which ones I won't once it's been raining, because there's a couple that just automatic right to your doors. Try to avoid that. Make it a long day.
Yeah.
And NS Trapper Hunter says I need to catch another 150 beaver to pay for those ski boots.
That's probably about it too.
Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron, I always said that 4-wheel drive just allows you to get stuck farther back in the bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't put it in 4-wheel drive until I'm stuck. The golden rule: don't push it a little bit farther and then try to turn around.
Yeah, I'm like you, Aaron. I do the same thing. I'll leave it in 2-wheel drive, and then I know that I can at least get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that truck is heavy, especially in the front end. If you go out somewhere soft, it just that motor weighs a ton. Literally, it'll bury in the yard and grass if it's wet enough.
I see Todd Wittenmeyer down in Kentucky says he runs a 22-mile trap line and I have no cell phone. Are you crazy?
Why, you in the mountains, Todd, and you don't get any service, or what?
Well, we were talking about that, Dave. There a couple of chats a couple of weeks ago about I think it was on one of your let's talk about the good old days, and you were discussing about that longest walk that you had to get back to town.
Yeah.
That was like that was about 22 miles, wasn't it? 22 or 23 miles.
Oh no, the longest one was 23 miles from my cabin to the train tracks, and then I ran out of gas 18 miles from town and walked all the way in. With 41 miles altogether. Oh, 20,
you were
20,
much younger then, weren't you?
way younger, yeah, and way skinnier. I wasn't skinny before I started, but when I finished that walk, I was. No, 20 miles. That was just an average everyday walk for me, Dave. That's pretty much what I did all the time. But the 41 miles was not a good one.
Well, seems we're on that topic, and I know times have changed, and I know Trapper Joe there has mentioned half of his line has no cell service as well. Probably the same thing, NL Ghost Wolf up your way. I know it was back when I lived there, especially up Grand Lake Road. But let's just talk about some of the items out there that people use. I know you can get cell phone boosters, that just attach to the back of the cell phone. Which are probably more appropriate than the ones that you have fully mounted in your vehicle that you can't take outside the vehicle, because if you're not with your vehicle, obviously you can't use it, and you're 2 miles away. But as well, those GPSs that you can use for sending text messages. I know Time on the Line, he uses it quite a bit for communication back to his family and stuff. Let him know every day he's home. So if you guys want to bring up your what you guys have used, or what you've done some research on, and what you would prefer to help make sure that you can get a message out there if you're out of your range. Kirk, how about you?
Well, I'm probably about the only guy in Petawawa that doesn't have a cell phone, so having one on me wouldn't be any good to me. But I do carry both my register lines there. I carry a satellite phone, and it's basically one of the older ones. It's Global Star. And that works awesome there. You just go onto the web page and type in, say if you're going to be on my line up in Shining Tree, I'll type that in, and you can get actually a 3-day printout right to the second when the satellite's going to be there and how long you have before you lose the satellite. So it all varies or whatever. But I think we pay about $49 a month, and that's on unlimited time anywhere in I think it's in the world. I think there I can call pretty well anywhere. So that's basically what I carry. It's big and awkward there. I think you can probably get a newer one that's probably half the size of it, but that's all I use is just a satellite phone when I'm out on my line.
What about the rest of you guys? Dave?
Well, I mean, I have my cell phone.
Familiar with any of those new things?
No. My wife bought me this. You know what Spot is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She bought me one of those a couple years ago, and then when the battery died, I never replaced it, and it's sitting in my pack somewhere. But it was a pretty cool little thing. It was an emergency thing only. And when I was up at the lodge, running my bear baits, because up there, some of my bear baits as far as 25 miles away from the lodge by boat. And I know the one day I got to the very end bait, because I always went all the way down and then baited back. I got to the very end, baited, got back, and the boat went to start the motor, and I had a recoil rope in my hand. And I was like, oh man, it was blowing so hard. And anyways, I ended up rowing that boat, 16-foot boat, 18 miles before somebody came looking for me. And, it was after that we got the Spot, because, it's pretty handy. You just push a button, and it'll send a email message right to her computer that, everything's okay. But, I'm not hurt, send help, or there's another one that's an emergency button, and it sends your GPS location directly to the EMS. And it was a pretty neat little thing, and it's only a little contraption about that big. And I like that I don't carry it now. But I've got my cell phone, and this wasn't planned, but I don't have cell service where I built my cabin. It wasn't planned, honest. Really, it wasn't.
And what about you, Charlie? I guess you're familiar with the Spotify, and as well, you want to touch base with the other one. I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll let you go forward with that if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember the other one. I can't remember what it's called, but definitely the spot. I know a lot of guys. InReach, yeah, that's right.
InReach,
you're right.
Yeah.
So two great systems from what I understand. I know one of the guys here, one of the trappers here, he runs a 134 kilometer long trail all by himself in the winter, and in the middle of nowhere, no roads running nearby, and he uses the spot all the time, and he always sends back about every hour or two. He'll send a little message letting everybody know that he's okay. For me, if I'm going more than say 40, 45 miles as a crow flies out of town, normally I'll take a satellite phone, sat phone. But if I'm only staying within 40, 45 miles as a crow flies, then I just do the old system of letting my wife know where I'm going to be, letting her know when I expect to be back, and around what time she should send help. So yeah, we get no cell phone service here at all. Once you get 10 minutes out of town, that's it. Your cells are dead.
Yeah.
What about you, Aaron? Down in your, I know that I guess you guys got some serious mobile towers and that all over the place down there. But when you're up, say this past summer, when you're doing some hiking and some fishing up in the northern the mountains there, obviously not much for cell in that area. So do you carry anything with you, or do you just give a time frame to your wife as to when you're expected back? What do you normally do?
Yeah, we have cell phone service even up there. So, I mean, even if I get high enough anywhere in the state, I'll have 4 bars and I'll be watching your videos. But yeah, it's cell phone. I mean, there is some spots that we don't have coverage, but anywhere that I go, generally have coverage. And I can just yell to the house because I can leave on foot for my landline and. Yell to the wife until she heard me. She'd go outside eventually and hear me screaming. So, I don't really. I mean, I have a GPS for when I'm elk hunting and stuff, but that's just so I can get back to the truck. It's not, it doesn't have any call features on it or anything.
Yeah, it's a huge difference from, a while back when I was trapping. When I first went up to the north, I was anywhere up to 9 weeks at a time without any contact with another person at all. I think that first year, twice, the airplane that dropped me off flew over, and he said, when I picked up my vehicle, he said he saw my tracks leaving, crossing the lake, so he knew I was still alive, so he just kept going. And that was about it for 9 weeks of no contact. I had the dog to yell at, so that was all I needed, I guess. I did a lot of cursing at them wolves too, but I mean, they didn't give a shit.
Hey, Chris.
How's it going, Chris?
Hey.
Bit late getting in there. I had some trouble with my laptop there last week, and I ended up resetting the drive, so I had to reinstall all the plugins. Technology is wonderful stuff. Yeah, I got no cell reception after about a mile from my house there. None whatsoever. What I usually do is tell the wife, if I'm not back by dark, come look for me. If I'm not already walked home by that time. Hey, can you hear me, guys?
Yep.
You're a little quiet, but
pretty quiet though.
Yeah, you're pretty quiet, but I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
The volume's low though, Chris. I can barely hear you.
I'll have a look now and see what I can do.
Lean closer.
Screams zoom.
I probably got the volume turned down.
So, Dave, on your Manitoba line, are you able to harvest black bears under your trapping license, or do you just harvest them under your lodge?
No, under the trapping license, you know, in Ontario, I was allowed to harvest as many as I wanted.
Yeah.
But I've never really
Done it. You know, simply because, you know, most of the time when I was in the bush, you know, bears were sleeping. It's, you know, to be quite frank about it, you know, I do. And here, so I haven't even really checked into if there's a limit on how many I'm allowed to take. And honestly, for the amount of money you get for a bear, I'm not sure I want that to work.
No.
Although right now, from what I understand, I mean, you can get more money for the claws and teeth than you can for the whole hide, and but you know, I'm not going to be killing a bear for claws and teeth.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I liked about Nova Scotia and bear hunting. We used to be allowed to sell our gallbladders, and you get good money for the gallbladders. And when you learn how to do them up, you know, that pays for your licenses and your gas for the rest of your season.
Yeah, that's been gone for. How long ago was that you were allowed to do that?
Oh, geez, last time I sold a gallbladder was probably back in the 90s, maybe in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even realize it was that late that you could do it, because it's.
Oh no, I think you might still be able to do it. You get a little blue steel. You do up your gallbladders. You gotta take them down to the DNR. They'll weigh it and they'll put a little seal on it, and then you.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they can still do it, but I haven't hunted bear now in quite some time, probably since '07 maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, back when that went to such a, it was mainly Alberta that you know, people were out there just slaughtering bears and just cutting the gallbladders out, those big ones, you know, to have thousands of dollars worth of stuff in them.
On the black market. Yeah.
Yeah, on the black market, and now here, boy, you ever get caught with one of them things, it's, I don't know, I think they just shoot you right there.
Yeah, no, I like that about Nova Scotia because they realize people are doing it, and they made it legal.
It's even worse than trapping with uncertified traps.
So how does that work out again?
Yeah, the first thing you do is you post a video on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wait for the phone call.
Yeah, and then wait for the game wardens.
Yeah.
And to check
but that's only if you're a dumbass. And so that would be me doing it.
That's too funny. Yeah, it says here you can still sell bear gallbladders in Nova Scotia. Good stuff.
Oh.
I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, we have to turn ours in. Like, I think it's one of those, like, when you there's several things. Cougars are the same way. There's certain reproductive organs that, but I think for the gallbladders, they just want them so people won't try to sell them.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of my hunters ask about it, and I just tell them point blank, you are not even going near it. I'm not touching that thing. Because who knows? Maybe they can do a test like, you know, GSR residue on you, and maybe gallbladder residue. And they just come along and swab you, and they take you to jail.
Yeah, because
Aaron, I think it was not far from your state there, just south of you in California. They had a reality show on. That was probably about 5 years ago now. I'm assuming, maybe longer. But it was back when reality TV first started, I guess, getting more popular. And these game wardens were there in the state of California, and they were big time into looking for poachers that were hunting the bears and just removing the gallbladders and selling them to the black market, I guess, to the Asians, right? But that was, I don't know if you knew that show or not, or if you watch much TV. I know most of us don't, but that was my first incline as to knowing how serious the black market for bear, especially black bear gallbladders, the demand for it. It blew my mind.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the show, but I know about 10 years ago, well, maybe longer than that, 15 years ago, I mean, it was on the front cover of the regulations. I mean, it was everywhere you turned, it was the same kind of thing. You don't want to have one kicking around in your freezer. I mean, just, it's one of those things, if you get caught with one, you're hosed.
Right. And I know when you do a bear hide up,
I think down in the States too. Sorry, Kirk, go ahead.
I know here if you do a bear hide up to sell it or because I guess there's a black market also for the bear feed, I guess, for the Koreans or Chinese or who's ever buying this stuff. So if you process a bear hide or whatever, you have to have all the feed on it and the claws and everything on it there. So. Oh, looks like the new guy's joining us.
Who's this guy?
Yeah, who's this guy?
Who is this guy?
Yeah, Robbie Moore wants to know what are the gallbladders used for.
It's an aphrodisiac, I do believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all that stuff like elk antlers when they're in velvet, all those things, deer antlers. All that is for the Orient, and they all think it makes their pecker hard. So, basically that's what it is. It's like poor man. Well, you can't say poor man because it's some natural Viagra. So yeah.
Yeah, because the other stuff's cheaper, Dave.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, how do you know that, Dave?
Or a blue pill.
We don't all have to be your age, Dave, to have the know of what it does,
I use it just so I don't roll out of bed at night.
You can get those little crib rails. They put on your bed to keep you.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, I hung something on the wall for you here.
Holy smokes, who is that?
I hung something on the wall for you behind me.
There.
Oh, you dirty rotter. I was going to send you that Winnipeg Jets cup. Oh, well.
I figured I was watching you, and yours is all crooked, so I put a straight one up.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. I didn't even realize that mine was crooked. Thanks.
So how was your time out there, Norm?
Oh, I had a freaking blast, to start the trip. It wasn't the best start. I don't want to give too much away, but I was pretty lucky not to be hurt pretty bad, put it that way.
That's good then.
So,
did you get to do a lot of your challenges, I guess, if they were?
I think I got, let's say, 80% of them done.
Good stuff, buddy.
Yeah.
Catching up, Martin.
I just couldn't do it. Well, sorry about that. It was, I really wanted to do one of your, like, say, your snares there with your flip-up snares. But I didn't get around to that and a few other things, and I actually got around to writing a poem for Todd. I hope it goes over well. I don't mean to offend anybody. Look at this nice cross I got, you guys. Nice crossbar.
Chris says he's having some.
Nice.
He's going to log off and try back in a minute.
Got this cross.
Okay.
Well, you getting them pen?
Yeah, I got him in the pen.
Oh,
So
yeah?
that was the only thing you got all month.
Yeah, that's it.
That was the only pelt that you got all month.
Well, don't you know that I bring like about 6 2-4s with me, and I just drink?
Works for me.
That one was just a roadkill?
Sorry, Norm, what was that?
That was a cross.
Oh, you got a cross, yeah?
I got a real nice crossbar too.
Oh, nice.
I got a real crappy one in here.
That is a beauty, man. Absolutely beauty.
Yeah, very nice.
There. I'll see your.
I'll see your crosswalks and raise you a canary martin. Here's one of my martins, but don't get too mad there, Mr. Vandermeer. I see your little ones.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
Oh, beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get pretty big around here, so you got to be careful. Hey, they attack you in the bush and all. You got to be on the ball out there.
Yeah, that's nice big
I
pelt.
honestly couldn't figure out how the hell to get on, Dave. Like, I was looking for your link. Finally, I figured it out.
Yeah, you know, when you turn over 50, like those simple things get to be a little more challenging, eh?
You know what? I'm going to be very good to you right now because you watched the chat for a month. So
Yeah.
I'll just bite my tongue. Oh, and hi, Aaron. Is that the meat guy?
Yeah, I guess that'd be one way to put it.
We'll just call you Mr. Meat. How's that?
Yeah, that works. Protein.
Oh,
Protein.
why are you hiding in the dark, Aaron? Looks like you're hiding.
I am in Mexico. I'm in shorts.
What?
Yeah, it's 85 degrees here right now.
I don't know. That just seems wrong to be added in shorts.
Norm, he actually makes money on his line. He can afford to go down south.
Yeah.
That's right. Those
Oh, he's
nutrients, man,
not-
they pay off.
He's not catching beavers.
Dave, you can't afford to go anywhere with all that beaver.
No, I know. We go directly to jail.
I'm sure I could find a beaver down in Mexico there somewhere if I was down there with you, Aaron. But
Oh my
I don't make enough money to travel down that far. So
Jesus.
You wouldn't have to go far.
How come I keep getting messages that this was supposed to be beer, babes, and boobs tonight or something?
Yeah, Dave didn't pull it off tonight.
What kind of hope are you? I would have done it for you, Kirk.
I know, eh? Glad you're back.
Hey, Kirk, check it out.
Oh, another one. Nice. Looks good on you, brother. Dave's wearing his too.
Is he?
Yeah.
What's Dave?
You guys are a bunch of twinsies.
Oh, that's Dave.
Yeah.
How did you get in there with that big gut? Did you pull it down over it or what?
Nice. Hey, I've lost 22 pounds since that even started.
Yeah.
22 pounds.
Yeah. I know you didn't think I had that much to lose, eh? I couldn't even say that with a straight face. Sorry.
I can see you trying to say it.
Don't you see how gaunt I look?
Oh, I forgot my headphones.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we just barely hear you again, Chris.
Ah, shit.
we can barely hear you, Chris. Yeah, barely.
There, that's better. So, how was
You're
everyone?
going to have to use your outdoor place.
No, it's been good.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's healthy.
Yeah.
Healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Holy crap! Look at the size of this panel.
7 people.
Yeah.
I wish I had you guys on my line for a month. I'd pop you each corner. I got lots of line cut anyway this year, and you know what? I actually did pretty good. And I had a Wolverine eat one of my Martin the Bastard, and I missed him.
No way.
Yeah. So I skinned him up, and we sewed him, and we ended up calling him Scarface, and we hung him on the wall. You'll see him on video. There was no point in bringing him, so.
No.
No, he was.
Norm, I was gonna say with the Wolverine, I'm hoping to get Jason Roberts on here, BC Newfie on. He was hoping to join in tonight, so I'm gonna try and send a private message to him there in a couple of minutes and try and get him on board. And he's got some good Wolverine tips for you to help you out when you go back next year, I'm sure.
Yeah, he gets a lot of Wolverines, that boy, eh?
Yeah.
He sure does.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, I missed that bugger, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you wonder how many.
25 he had his first year on his line. I
That's
mean
unreal.
that's got to be a record of some sort. That's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a guy up in Alaska that holds the record. I know that. But I know it's a pretty freaking high number, and he used to use a snare and a leg holder every time to catch him. For the dam.
I know when I was up in the territories. Sorry, I was gonna say when I was in the territories, just south of Bear Lake. I guess there's a huge abundance of wolverine in that area. In the I guess the I don't know, it's all spruce forest up there. But anyway, I met a couple of the locals up there, the natives, the Dene, and I had the privilege to fly them over their trap line, and just unbelievable. Like we all dream of having a trap line where we can go out and harvest, you know, a couple hundred animals, and all those animals are the highest paid in wild fur auctions around the world. Like it's something you dream of, right? But unbelievable. Like for anybody that has dreamed of having their favorite trap line, I think wolverine, wolf, lynx, like the northern furs is something we all dream about. It's too bad we all can't live there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good point to bring up there, Dave, because I got an interesting chat we're going to do here, and I don't know for next Sunday or the following one, but you kind of pretty much nailed it, but I think it should be a fun one.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, are you really in Mexico?
Yeah, the pool's right behind me.
I was like, what the
I'm
hell?
going fishing for mahi tomorrow. I take a week
That's
off.
awesome. I don't even have no idea what you guys are even talking about.
Either do we, don't worry about it.
Just nod your head and laugh the odd time.
Oh, I missed you guys so much. Especially Kirk. I missed taking shots at Kirk.
Oh, I noticed you gave him on my video there, and I thought you were back, but you were still up in your line there, Craig. Yeah.
No, I was on my phone, and I said, you know what, I got to take a shot at Kirk, man.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people go over there and check out this shot. So,
Yeah.
so what are you?
Hey, Norm.
Yo.
DJ Hunter wants to know if did you get any Arctic fox?
Yeah. I just threw I had a couple in one of these bags here, but yeah, I got some.
Right on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
What I do is I take a few out as soon as I get home because, you know, I've been gone for a while and the dogs go absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So I always bring a few in and I chase the dogs with them. And she just growls and goes nuts. Eh? It was like, so I always tease them a little bit, otherwise I'll be mauled and truffled on.
Hey, Norm. Todd says missed you, Norm.
And then Swamp Jockey there, he says, missed you too, Norm, with every shot so far.
I kind of missed it. What? He missed me what?
With every shot so far.
Oh. Yeah. What are you guys talking about anyway?
We started off talking about our 3 favorite things to do in the outdoors.
Ah.
So what's yours?
Okay, let's see. One of them would be trapping for sure. Let's see. I guess fishing. And to be honest, the other one would probably be gardening.
What?
Yeah, I like always, you know, towards the end of the season, seeing what you can actually grow because I have zero green thumb, so it's always a challenge. It's like, grow, you frickin' carrot, grow.
Yeah.
I missed that part of it when I was trying to figure out how to talk, but I think that my three favorites are, getting ready for trapping season, and then wishing trapping season was here. So.
I mean,
what about eating lynx meat?
Eating what?
Eating lynx meat.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can only do that during trapping season.
Oh my God! I told you, Dave Wilcox Jr. That's exactly what he would say. I nailed it perfect, Dave. I said I didn't know if it was this chat or not, but that's what I sent him a message. I said, you know what Dave Vandermeer is going to say, eh? He's going to say trapping, and more trapping.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because you think about it, like, I don't mind fishing, but I do it all summer as a business, and then I don't mind hunting, but I do that all fall and all spring as a business. So it's, by the time my customers are all gone, I really don't care about fishing too much or hunting. And if trapping was a business, I probably, wouldn't like it as much, but it's not. It's my get away from the business. So.
Yeah, no kidding. I guess you do it all season long.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me any better than that, guys?
No,
Yeah,
you're
still pretty quiet, but.
Where's your headset? Huh? We don't have a headset on. That's probably why I can't hear you.
One of my lovely children borrowed it.
Lean forward like this.
One of my lovely children borrowed it.
There you go.
Yeah, can you hear me any better now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Just wasn't close enough for you guys, that's all.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoy my ugly mug.
Steve Trott says his favorite outdoor activity is naked lawn dart. It keeps you on your toes.
Oh my God! What the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
God downhill quickly tonight.
Usually it's not till 9 o'clock before this happens.
Yeah.
Dave, Kirk, how come you didn't sell those T-shirts yet?
I don't know. Don't want to sell my advertising. Yeah.
At least I got one, but at least it was free, so.
There you go, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, I like that price. I'll take one.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed you haven't shipped the wolf out to me yet, Norm.
No, I got a comb still and a couple things, so.
Well, that's work. Don't worry about that. I can do that when it comes here.
Yeah, I'll get right on it. I was there's one video coming up, and I'm standing in my cabin, and I'm not going to tell you what I was doing, but anyway, I had the video running, and I turned around, and there's a frickin' wolf going right by my windows.
Okay.
So that was like, oh, you should have. I didn't think I could move that fast at 50.
Did you get him?
Well, we won't discuss that.
West Virginia Trapper Man says his favorite thing to do is to go out running the DNR around, and he asked me if I care to join him.
What would happen with DNR and you, Dave? You'd have to fill me in.
Oh, well, I had someone through my tracks. Apparently.
What?
Yeah, so I got to go to court on the 23rd of February.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
So you're a criminal.
Well,
I have been my whole life. They just finally got caught.
Well, I always say you're never a poacher until the judge says you're one.
yeah, that's right.
Only illegal if you get caught, guys.
How many illegal traps did you have out?
I think they took 16.
What?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Well, I mean, I'd taken most of my dukes and stuff and hung them in the off the shed there. But they had some other ones. Well, there were some dukes there too that I missed, and there was a couple of bridgers, which I didn't even realize and stuff. But so everything except I just ordered a few dozen from North Bay. Some of the Savajos and some of the LDLs, and I'm going to try them out just to see which ones I like the best to replace them all with. But apparently the LDLs fit in the old my old Martin boxes, because the Blyles and the Savajos won't fit into the Martin boxes. So we'll see which ones I'm going to use.
Right.
I don't know how many I can afford after I pay my fine. But
you frickin' criminal.
Yeah.
Dave, Scott.
The only thing worse than a criminal is a dumb criminal.
Scott Keelan wants to know how did they find all your sets?
It's not hard. They followed my Skidoo trail. And they just got on one end of it and went all the way around till they were on the other end. And every time they seen where I had got off the Skidoo and followed my trail in. So.
What do you think they seen it on video or what?
Well, they said some people from the eastern side of the province, where the game wardens have been charging people there for using illegal traps. They said that they complained over there and called and complained. So they said they had no choice. And they didn't. I mean, it's strictly on me. I've said this before, you know. I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming the guys that called. This is strictly on me. I just wasn't paying attention and messed up. Don't worry, I'm selling all the dukes. In the spring, as soon as I get everything sorted out, all that stuff, you know, because even some of my lynx traps that I didn't have set at all, but my lynx traps are Duke number 3 offsets, and those will all be going for sale too. So I got a bunch of stuff, a bunch of traps for sale, guys.
I had the wardens come by my cabin too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and so I sat them down and I brought in all the old traps and I asked them which ones I could modify and what I could do for them. So they went through all of them with me, and I'm going to modify all of them instead of throwing them out.
But the problem is, Norm, they told me you cannot modify one of those traps to make it a legal trap. I mean, up there's probably not going to be a big deal. But they told me point blank, you cannot use these traps. It does not matter what you do to them. You can't even take a 110 that's a legal trap or something and put an extra spring on it and use it. It's been modified.
Yeah.
Bullshit. But.
And I wasn't really talking about those ones, just some of the other types of traps that you can modify, like the leg holes and stuff.
Well, how do you modify a leg hole?
He was telling me I can do some welding on it and make a 1/8 opening on it, and it'll be perfectly legal.
Oh well, that's not what they told me here. But just because I would double check and again, because they said that I absolutely cannot modify any traps to.
Well, if things work out the way I hope they're gonna, that there's actually going to be a conservation officer sitting on here once a month, and we're going to drill them.
Yeah, that'd be
good. So I'm gonna try anyway. I got 3 of them I'm talking to right now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get one to maybe come in once a month and I don't know, call it a conservation, ask the conservation officer or something.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be different.
Hey guys, I pity that poor bastard, whoever he is.
I think maybe we ought to try to be respectful or it won't come back.
You're gonna have to be nice, boys.
Yeah.
Be on good behavior.
I can remember was pretty well the same thing on every report card all the way up to school, and one is Chris don't apply himself enough, and the other was he doesn't play well with others.
Especially game wardens.
Yeah. Time in the bush by myself.
Yeah, I pulled up to my cabin. They were sitting there eating all my frickin' cookies, man. I was pretty pissed about that. Like, you can have everything else, but leave my cookies alone.
Warden there.
At least they didn't eat your Snickers bars, you know?
What's that?
They didn't eat your Snickers bars.
No, I didn't. I didn't bring any this time.
Oh. Because you ate them all on Trapper Chat.
Yeah, I like the snack. And what are you trying to say?
Well, how come you're skinny then?
Yeah, well, high metabolism.
Yeah, I had one of them when I was young too.
You know what they say when people with little stomachs or guts, they just don't work as hard as us.
That's right.
Hey.
That's like that's.
I kind of think Norma's got some weight put on there in the last 4 weeks he's been gone. Looks to me like I know the camera adds 10 pounds, but with you, Norm, it looks like you got about 25 pounds gained.
Oh my God! You know what? If I had the eject button on my side, you'd be ejected. Well, you know what?
I can eject you on this side. Remember that.
You know what? I honestly just wanted to say hi, and you guys are having a chat, and I got to go visit with the wife and put all the stuff away. So. But I really just wanted to come in and say hi to everyone.
Nice to see you
I
back.
didn't scare you off, did I?
No, nobody scares me. But I just want to say hi to everyone and welcome aboard there, Aaron.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I guess Dave, I'll talk to you after the chat. What's coming up? So you guys
good.
have fun. I got many hours of Trapper's Chat to catch up on. Hey, later. Thanks for the t-shirt, Kirk.
Okay, man. No problem.
Dave, you do look thinner. I was just kidding.
So Brian Morrow has a question there for everybody. What's everyone's favorite animal to catch? Hi, Norm. You guys catch that?
No.
Yep.
What's everybody's favorite animal to catch?
Well, I'll start off there. I said it in previous chats, but lynx here in northeastern Canada, lynx are highly sought after fur bearer to catch. And all the years growing up, I can still remember when I grew up in Labrador, the very first lynx that my father had trapped on his line in a modified, I think it was a modified double spring, number 3. And we ended up getting it full body mounted and stuffed, and that was sitting in the living room for most of my days growing up. And from then on, I guess I was very avid and very, I guess, well, lynx, like I say, lynx are a pretty curious animal out there. So for me, I think lynx was probably the most favorite, still is for me to go after during trapping season. It's just unfortunate here. We've only got the month of December to trap them. So, and again, like any other fur bearer out there, if the numbers are down, I try my best to I'm not going to go out and take all the breeders. So, just try my part to if the numbers are up, I'll go after them. If they're down, I'll let Mother Nature help out. But lynx is my favorite by far, and I guess Kirk, you want to.
Yeah, mine would be my favorite one is the martin or whatever. I keep saying over and over there that nothing looks nicer hanging in a tree than a martin in a 120. So yeah, I use a lot of vertical martin boxes baited with. I have a lot of muskrat for bait, and I check every couple of days. So it's just a matter of flipping the bait every couple of days and putting fresh stuff in. But yeah, I really enjoy chasing the martin.
How about you, Dave?
Davey.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, I like catching everything, but my favorite animal to trap for would be otter, but my favorite animal to catch would be wolves, just, because they're not an easy thing to catch. You don't get a lot of them. So my best year out here was 7. In Ontario, I think my best year was 13. But, the one that so that's my. I don't like making sets for wolves. I love making sets for otters, but I prefer to catch wolves than otters. So that would be them.
How about you, Charlie?
I like catching them all, but I guess for me it was a big a dream and a goal was to catch my first marten, and it took 35 years after I started trapping to be finally in an area where I could trap a marten. So I was very happy to get my first marten when I got up here to Labrador. As you know, back on the island, we can't catch them, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. And I've got marten actually running around right outside, right behind me here now, every night. I got marten that are probably living underneath my cabin as we speak. So it's funny when you see the numbers are as great as they are in your area and you can't touch them, but especially knowing how much money they're worth.
Dave,
yeah.
There's on the chat, like the typed in spot there. There's somebody in there that's causing some ruckus. I don't know if you can boot him.
Sure.
Yeah, just go check it out.
We'll work our way over. Busy Bayman is next, and then Aaron will get you to mention as well what your favorite animal is to catch. So, Busy Bayman, are you there? And if you're able to answer, go right ahead. And then Aaron, you can go through and answer after he's done. And I'll take care of this.
I don't know what's going on, guys. You guys are all breaking up and everything. I can't understand anything going on.
Okay, so Aaron, if you want to tell them out there what your favorite animal is.
Sure. Yeah, I by far just kind of the same scenario as Dave with the wolves. Is I don't catch very many bobcats. Whenever I do it, or I walk up on one in a set, it absolutely, it's still like a little kid, in a toy store. Just absolutely the adrenaline rush and everything is still there. But as far as enjoying things, I really like otter trapping too. The last couple of years, I hadn't really caught otters until I guess 3 years ago was the first one I caught, and I caught 9 last year, and I'm up to 4 this year. They're just a cool critter, and I think they're actually one of the nicest actual fur on an animal.
All right, guys, I think that's taken care of there now.
Okay, good.
And probably brought over one of my
I'm glad you brought that up, Dave, because I didn't have the page open, so I apologize to all you guys out there in the chat room. I'm sorry about that. My apologies, but anytime you guys see something like that, just speak up, interrupt, and we'll gladly take care of it as quick as we can. So I'm just reading down through some of the comments there. So that's gonna happen. We don't mind that. That's a part of the chat. So
yeah, Dave, West Virginia Trapperman said if you give, whenever we do a chat, if you give him a moderator thing, then he can boot those guys right away if you want. So just for next time.
Yeah, what I'll do, Charlie. I guess Charlie, if you're going to be keeping that page open on a regular basis, I'll mention it to Norm because he's going to be taking it over. So we'll get a moderator in there, and he can focus on the YouTube chat altogether. And anything like that comes up, we'll get rid of it before it becomes a nuisance.
Sounds good. We got a question here from a guy, and I don't know how we say his name. Is like Saquil or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Evening, fellas. Do you guys have any quotas on your furs, otter, marten, and lynx?
Yeah, and I think his name, you pronounce it Sakalai.
Sakalai?
Sack of lies. That's what he told me last week. So.
There you go.
But yeah, he was asking about quotas on lynx and marten and stuff. So somebody go ahead.
I'll take it. So for me, it's we have no limits on anything. With otters and bobcats, we have to buy a tag, and you get 15 per tag, and then I think it's another $42 maybe or 38 to get another set of tags. So as far as numbers, it doesn't really matter. I just have to have the right tags for those two that require being tagged.
Here in I almost said Nova Scotia. Here in Labrador, no quotas. You can whatever you can catch.
Yeah, same thing here. We're part of the same province, so we're just on the island, but no quotas on anything. We just, like I say, follow the guidelines with season opening dates, season closing dates, and that's about it.
Well, on my lines there, I have.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I have 2 registered lines, and then I also trap about 5,000 acres of private. So on my private land, I'm not allowed to harvest no marten. As for fisher, I'm allowed 1 fisher for every 400 acres or whatever. So that's how they regulate that. As for beaver and that, it's wide open because obviously you're doing a lot of beaver control for the landowners. So, like I say, no marten on my private land and 400 acres for a fisher. On my registered lines, I have beaver quotas. I gotta catch 75% of my beaver quota, and I can't go over it. And I also have marten and fisher, and on my northern line, I have a lynx quota that I have there too. So, as for the quotas, you don't have to catch anything except for your beaver on my registered lines. I got to get 75% of my beaver, and then as for the marten and fisher and lynx, there, if I don't want to harvest any, I don't have to or whatever. So. That's how that's regulated for me. Yeah.
How many beavers is that, Kirk?
Sorry?
How many beavers do you have to take?
75% of my quota. So I have my small line here, registered line. I'm 36 beaver on that one. And on my northern line, it's 60 beaver up there. So as long as I get 75% of that, I'm good, yeah. And if for some reason I don't harvest it, well, you get a letter. You'll get one warning there. You'll get basically a certified letter coming to your house saying that you never caught your beaver quota, and basically it's your final warning. And if it happens again, they can actually charge you, and then you'll lose your whole line in that. So.
Well, just to bring that up, here on the island, we were issued registered trap lines for beaver, and I was lucky enough to get one a couple of years ago, in my immediate area and going east. And it's a fairly large trap line, but unfortunately the beaver numbers are not like they normally are on every other part of the island, where they're very, very, they're considered a nuisance. So that no trouble to get anywhere from probably 25 up to 100 beaver on a registered trap line here, but my issue, of course, is the numbers are down. I'm on a higher elevation here. I'm about 1,000 feet above sea level, and I don't know if that's got something to do with it and the landscape. But so I just had a letter in the mail yesterday from the head fur bear management, I guess the chief biologist here in the island, and I had to submit a letter today. Actually, it's going out in the mail tomorrow. If I had any beaver that I had trapped from the previous year, and if they weren't stamped yet, because they all had to be stamped, even if they're going to be used for personal use or garments, even if they're not going to the auction. But I've got to basically answer as to why I didn't meet the quota. Minimum is 5 beaver here for the minimum quota, and if you don't, your line can be revoked and it'll be issued to another trapper in your area that's willing to pick it up. So. Just thought I'd share that.
And Dave, don't they contact you if there's any roads that are getting flooded, if it's on your beaver line, to make sure that the guy who has that line goes out and takes care of those problem beavers?
Yeah. Actually, it was last year that it was probably, I'm thinking about 2 months before the opening season. I think it was early September. Or maybe even earlier, it might have been late August, and wildlife contacted me and said that there was a nuisance beaver that was flooding an area where you probably might have seen in previous videos. It was near where people go to a local spring to get their drinking water, and it had the road flooded. So they wanted me to get rid of it, and I asked the wildlife if I could wait at least an extra 4 weeks for the pelt to get a little primer, because I didn't feel like harvesting a beaver in August month. So yeah, we do get regular calls on nuisance beaver that are around the roadways, the high roads, and as well around I guess sites, private, like mining sites and logging sites and those sorts. So they always contact you when there's a beaver complaint. Yeah, and it may not be in your area as well. That's one thing to bring up. I know a lot of guys that are not. They'll call them up, and it might be your next trap line over from you, And if they refuse to go get it, they'll call the guy that's next to them and say, "Would you mind going and doing it?" So that's another good thing.
Hey, Dave, there's a couple questions there.
Well, first, Scott Nealon wants to tell Kirk that if he needs some beaver for his quota, I have some for sale. Like Dave has some for sale.
But Scott, if I send him some beaver, then the game wardens are going to get me for transporting beaver across the provincial line without a permit. So, but Kirk, NL Fisher Trapper wants to know, what if the population there is not there to support your quota? Are they still flying your lines down there for you?
No, years ago, like Dave said, they used to fly over and they basically did a beaver colony count, and they'd basically tell you then as the season was coming up closer what your quota was going to be. But no, they don't do that anymore. So it's basically my quota is the same every year. If for some reason I can't go and get my whole quota or whatever, just because the animals are. Just talk to them there. We'll give it one more try, and if you're still having a hard time, maybe we'll drop your quota or whatever. So they're very flexible. They'll lower your quota and raise it if you have to. If you're overabundant one year, they'll just raise it or whatever. It's not a big issue or whatever. It's just a matter of calling them and explaining it to them, and they'll either raise it or lower it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know when I was in Ontario, they would do that. They were flying the lines pretty regular.
And the beaver quota was set at 1.5 beaver per colony.
Right.
And here in Manitoba, I don't know what they do up north, but in the RTL district that I trap in, there's no quotas on anything. But I'll tell you something. If they ever put a quota on beaver here, there'd be 90% of the people losing their trap line. Because there is nobody trapping them here.
Aaron, how many beaver do you average in the years that you've been trapping, like the last 5 or 6 years? How many beaver do you average down in Oregon?
I usually catch about, 25. And I think I'm only at about 12 this year. I haven't said nearly as much as I have in the past years, just for the same reason everyone else hasn't. But I'd say since I started actively trapping beaver, probably just 25. When I first started, it was actually a lot just for casters. I was making lures and stuff, and more into it because there's, out of all the critters, that's one that it takes some time, but it's also kind of an art, which I think of it as more of a hobby than trying to get paid for them, since they're not worth anything.
Dave, did you turn all yours in this year, your casters, or do you decide to keep a few to make your own lure?
Are you, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I turn all of them in that are any size. I keep all the casters from the kits, the shells. Those are ones there I grind up to make sense with. I send all the big ones. Those shells aren't worth much of anything anyway. So.
Might as well turn them into a big beaver by using them.
Yeah, I think
does your wife let you use the food processor for grinding up the casters?
I bought my own, thanks. I'm in enough trouble with the game wardens. I don't need trouble from her.
Yeah, no, I've got one of the old hand grinders that, they work really good for me. And all I do, as I'm grinding them, I'm pouring a little bit of the bear oil that I make from the bear fat. I pour it in there as I'm grinding, and it makes it a real nice, rich, thick. And that's one thing I wanted to mention too. A lot of guys use the glycerin as a holding agent for casters and stuff, but if you get an oil like that, it kind of extracts the caster out of the grindings, and then the actual oil, has a good thing too. Glycerin, a lot of times, it's just holding the caster there, and it all, when you take it out, that glycerin just goes away over the water and stuff like that. You use an oil like that, I've always found it works better. But
What about you, Kirk? What do you do with all your casters?
I sell all my casters or whatever. So and then I just purchase from Fur Harvester's trap store there for my beaver caster or whatever. But yeah, I know all my caster gets sold. Actually, it's only been about 2 years I started keeping them. Normally, I was throwing them away or whatever with the carcass, but yeah, once I figured out how to cut them out or whatever, and then the prices that you get for them is a lot more than what the fur is actually. So yeah, I started keeping them now, and I usually dry them for about 3 days before, and then I'll refrigerate them till I got maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9 pounds of it, and then I'll take it in. And I have a fur buyer here that I sell to that pays pretty good price for them, so that's where I take all my caster. Yeah.
And guys, I guess you guys are all like the caster. A lot of it is used in high, fancy perfumes and whatnot. Is it not?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
I know.
I think it used to be used in vanilla or something too.
A lot of people that. What's that, Aaron? Sorry.
Oh, I said I think it used to be used as a food additive too, and some flavorings with like vanilla and some other things too that are actually
really?
I
didn't know that.
Make goods, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I heard mouse shit was a good additive to pancake mix, though.
What's that?
I said I heard mouse shit was a good additive to pancake mix.
Makes it look like raisins in it.
Yes, blueberries.
Off-season blueberry pancakes.
Charlie, is there anything up in the chat? Sorry, Aaron?
No, not too much, the boys.
The kids are getting restless and going to head down here and hit the pool for another hour, so my background noise is about to increase by about 400. So I'm going to call it night.
What would that noise be? You in the water?
Yeah, just the kids in there. Four little boys splash around in the pool, so in the morning.
That's awesome. Sounds good. Well, listen, Aaron, I want to say thank you. I know we really appreciate you taking your time out on your family vacation down there in Mexico. It's pretty cool, actually, to have somebody on the chat tonight while they're down in 85 degrees and poolside. So
it's hardcore trapping.
Thanks for joining in. Yeah. Appreciate it. Hope to see you again on Norm's chat next week, Aaron. It's been a blast.
Yeah, after showing up in shorts, he might not invite me back.
Later, Aaron.
Yeah. Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Take care now.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
Later.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on in the chat room, Dave. It's boys answering questions and asking questions amongst themselves, kind of. Nothing for the panel.
No, he wasn't joking about Mexico. He's actually there. So.
Yeah.
I guess one thing we should try and do is interact a little more with the fellows in the chat room. And again, I find it difficult back and forth from one page to the other. But Charlie, I guess you find like you're always monitoring, so we'll try and keep interacting, because what I wanted to do actually tonight was not only us talking about what our 3 favorite things were, but I wanted everyone in the chat room that was joining in to discuss it as well, and then we could kind of bring out like like what other type of outdoor activities besides trapping that you enjoy, and not just like say hunting and fishing and all that, but anything in general. Yeah, because like I said, I'd like to be able to get everybody that's in the chat room to kind of get their 2 cents in and be a part of it just as much as we are, because without those guys viewing, we'd have a not as exciting or entertaining as a night. So any of you out there in the chat room want to share who you follow on YouTube and why you do follow them and what types of videos they got? That's one thing I wanted to bring up. And while you guys are doing that in the chat room. You guys on the panel, if you want to bring up a few names and a few channels that you really enjoy watching, because not all of us have the same subs, obviously, and be nice to kind of figure out where we can go with checking out new channels. So, Charlie, you wanna start first? If there's anything out there you want to pass along, what you
Sure.
found interesting.
I guess.
Charlie,
Yeah.
just 1 second.
Run, guys. So I'm gonna bow out here now. So I'll say goodbye to everybody, and I gotta go take care of some stuff before too long. So, alrighty, guys. I'll see you all later.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Take care. Thanks for joining in.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I like, man, I got a whole shitload of, you guys go on my channel, I still got all my subscribers there. I know some guys don't bother putting up all the subscribers. I don't know what they do. They only kind of have a few people up that they follow. But I subscribe to pretty much a lot of guys that subscribe to me, kind of pay back the favor type thing. And I guess I always get a kick out of Andrew Stanley, the Wild North. But I follow everybody here on the panel. I follow everybody that's doing the trapping videos and stuff. Yeah, I guess, you know, he'd probably be my number one. I just get such a kick out of him. My dad really likes him, so I try to, and he kind of says it like it is, right? I try not to curse in any of my videos. I try to make it so that anybody can watch it. But he doesn't hold any punches back, so it's kind of entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
What about you, Kirk?
Well, I'm the same as Charlie there. I'm a big Andrew Stanley fan there. I love his videos, and actually met him, I guess, 2 years ago in North Bay when they were promoting his new series there on Wild TV that they flew him in, and hell of a nice lad. And like Charlie says, he calls it what it is, and basically if you don't like it, well, don't watch it, I guess. But I'm the same way though. I think I have 78 subs there that I'm subscribed to, and I try to watch them all or whatever. And I'm very fascinated. I always dreamed about living in Alaska, so there's a couple guys from Alaska that have channels out. So I really enjoy watching stuff like that, and fascinated with the wolverines and the lynx and stuff. So anyone that usually has that's out harvesting wolverine and stuff there, I definitely like to follow them, their channel quite a bit, and especially Jason Roberts there. He's just whacking and stacking them like cordwood there, and that's I know we were talking about it earlier, but that would be my next critter I'd love to go and try to harvest. And so maybe one day I'll be doing her, but we'll see. But yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there, and that's my every morning. That's my project. I get up and pour a couple cups of coffee, and what gets up with all the subscribers and who has a new video out, and try to comment on them all for sure. Yeah.
How about you, Busy Bayman?
How can you hear me? I'm not sure if you can hear me or no.
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear me fine?
Yeah, a
Well,
lot better now.
Well,
It's still low, but we can hear you.
All you guys probably on Dave's Facebook page or book or Facebook thing you got going on there. That anyway, I uploaded a video there a couple days ago. This guy fleshing the beaver. I don't know if you had the opportunity to see it. I know you did, Dave. I don't know about you, Charlie. But he only has like a half a dozen videos. Man, I can sit down and watch this guy flesh animals over and over and over. And he does it pretty similar to how I do all my animals too. I don't use boards and stuff like you guys do, or fleshing poles. I was showed years ago, you know, you just take a pelt, you throw it over your knee, you take well, you used to use a cutthroat. Well, it was kind of like, well, it was a Green River cutthroat. It was a curved blade, very similar to what Buddy had, and I was showed how to sharpen the knife on one edge, and we used that. And like I said, I love watching this guy. I don't know, it's just so many people to watch all the time. I mean, on a regular basis, as soon as they upload, I'm itching there just to get and watch their videos. I know you, Kirk, and Dave, and Charlie, all you guys, whenever you upload, I mean, and I do the same thing. Either it's last thing in the night or first thing in the morning. There's nothing for me to be up 5 o'clock in the morning, sat down watching YouTube videos before I leave to go to work in the morning. And then, well, I am privileged because I get to watch them at work too a lot. That's pretty awesome. And
Yeah.
like I said, Andrew's awesome. All you guys into the hunting, fishing, and I mean, there's just so many channels out there. And I'm subbed to, well, I'm the same as Charlie, and like a lot of us, I mean, whoever subs to our channel, I sub back, and I try very hard to watch everyone's videos. But I will make one note that the kind of little pet peeve of mine. I mean, there's a lot of channels out there. These guys are, I don't know if they got ADD or what's wrong with them, but if they upload 5 videos in 2 days, I just can't get to them all. I mean, it's just, these people just upload too much. I mean, I'd like to watch them, but it's just too much at one time. I can't handle it. So I don't know if any of these guys are watching right now. Slow down on uploads. Give me a day, then upload another one.
I'm a couple of weeks behind catching up with all the YouTube videos and all you guys. I know Kirk's got a few out there, and Dave had a few out there, and Chris and all the guys. And I'm just being down there taking care of Dad and Mom there. It took all my time, so I'm well behind on YouTube now.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that, Charlie.
Yeah, you know, I'm the same as you guys. Like, and what I find is, I guess the more as your channel is growing and the more subscribers you have, the more you feel obligated to be obviously, you know, doing the same favor in return and following them, and you do your best to keep up. But like Charlie said, when you get behind by a couple weeks, boy, oh boy, it is difficult to try and catch up. And I mean, I've gone through over the last 2 years that I've been on. If you even fall behind by a few days, it seems like all your normal everyday chores, like whether it's your dishes or even prepping, like that all comes second because you're so. I guess it's a good addiction to have, but you feel like you want to go out and you want to see all these videos, and there's not enough time in a run of a day to catch up. But I myself, I like anything in the outdoors. I love fishing, love tramping, and I love hunting. Even a little bit of, you know, survival with bushcraft and stuff. Like, I'm always out there looking to learn something new, and I know that I'm by far I'm skilled at everything that I'm doing out there. But that's why I watch these videos, is to see, because I'm curious to see how others do it their way, and what, you know, if they've got some tips and stuff, and if there's anything that you can add to help them. That's what I like about it. The YouTube world and these Facebook pages are a great way to not only just to intervene and socialize with fellow friends and that most of us have met on here, but it's cool to see because you can learn so much, and you can go out and try it, and if you like it, you like it, and if you don't, you don't. But it's pretty neat out there. There are a lot of new channels that are coming online. These guys, like, only been on the go for, you know, a couple of months, and what they're putting out there is some pretty good footage. So I just encourage anyone that's watching in the chat room, don't feel intimidated of sharing your footage if you don't think it's going to compete with anyone else out there, because by all means, like, if it's anything to do with the outdoors, it doesn't matter the quality of the edit, quality of the length of the video. Put it out there. You know, there's no harm in putting it out there, and that's a part of it. I enjoy, like I say, yeah, the shoutouts are cool too as well. West Virginia Trapper Man, and yeah, it's something, I guess, I don't know, like, I only got into this a few years ago when I had major spinal surgery, and I had a lot of time sitting in a hospital bed and not able to move. So yeah, that's when I picked up on YouTube, and I just, you know, slowly trying to keep up with it. It can be a challenge, and for someone like Busy Bayman to be able to watch it at work, that's a bonus. But yeah, it can take up your time. I know Kirk, same thing with you, Kirk. like I say, I usually spend most of my time watching late at night because that's when the internet speed here is better.
Right.
Where I'm on a satellite internet service here at the cabin. So if you guys are wondering if you upload a video in the middle of the day and you wonder why I don't watch it until 12 at night or something like that, that's why it's not that I'm a night owl as such. It's because that's when I can actually watch it without any technical issues. So yeah.
So Kirk, what about you?
Well, like I said, I'm a big Andrew Stanley fan, so I just follow
that's right.
follow him lots. But yeah, I'm fascinated with the guys up in the Yukon and Alaska that have them out there. I know there's not too many, but I'd really enjoy watching anything because I've always wanted to harvest a wolverine, and we just don't have them around here. So the closest I'm going to get to even see one is the guys that post them on YouTube and stuff. So yeah, I really enjoy watching them, and like I said again, Jason Roberts, man, he's whacking and stacking them good there. So I really enjoy following his. Yeah.
Okay, we got some activity now in the chat room, big time. And we're falling behind here. So HTF Farm Boy, he says he likes camping, hunting yotes, and backpacking. Sequel, or how do you say it? Sakalais says, what's everybody's favorite martin and fisher lure? I'll answer right quickly. For Martin, it's Martin Magic. You guys want to jump in on yours?
Yeah, I use Gusto, made by Craven, I think it is, somewhere down in the States or whatever. Really strong skunk essence smell to it, and that's all I've ever used. And it works awesome for me, especially with Fisher too. Yeah.
Yeah, and me, obviously not allowed to trap here on the island, so I don't use any martin lures or anything. But the other animals, the other fur bearers, I'm a firm believer in beaver caster that works with otter, lynx, pretty much everything out there. Beaver caster lure, you can't go wrong with it, whether it's store bought or whether you make it yourself. I'm a firm believer in beaver casters. That's what's one of my favorite lures. Yeah.
It's hard to beat beaver and fish for me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
DJ Hunter says his favorite activities is moose and elk hunting and outdoor stuff.
Nice.
Brian Morrow, he follows Coon Creek because of the fur handling. Labrador Mad Trapper's on here. Hey.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy, man. I run into him every now and then in the woods or down at gyms. Good guy. We're friends on Facebook there as well. Robbie Moore, lobster fishing, and lots of smiles behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Prepare to survive. My big hobby is casting my own lead bullets and reloading my own ammo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've never tried that actually, but more videos I see online. It's something I'd like to try.
And then we got Getchy Gimme.
A lot of the fails with reloading and stuff, so I never ever bothered.
Yeah.
When we were kids one time, teenagers, I guess, we hand loaded a 12 gauge shell, and that didn't go over so well. Ended up in about 50 different pieces. Well, when the smoke cleared and I could finally see my bullet, all he had was the handpiece and the stock. The barrel, the breech, the rest of the gun was gone. It was nothing only powder burn and scratch marks all up across his face everywhere. So I haven't really bothered since.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris, just to let you know, sorry, Charlie. I just wanted to let everyone know. I think I just brought up the control panel there, and I realized I can turn the volume up on all you guys. And Chris, where you were so low, I got you maxed out, and I think you're at about our normal levels now. We're all at the lowest level audio, and I think I got you taken care of there.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Dave. I've got to figure out what the kid's done with that friggin' microphone. Homer Simpson. Oh.
All right,
What
so
else is out there, Charlie? On the
Getchy Gimme Outdoors. He likes moose hunting is his favorite, and he follows everybody, all us guys on the channels and bushcraft channels as well. Brian Morrow,
He's a lot
he likes
like
to
us,
follow Bunk
obviously.
Dave's.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What's your favorite thing to take moose hunting, guys?
favorite thing to take moose hunting.
Yeah.
Beer.
Sure. Mine's a frying pan.
Yeah, the heart never makes it out of the woods for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we normally fry up the heart with onions and cut the heart in steaks and onions and some potatoes cut into homemade fries right there in the woods.
Nice.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
Yeah, especially when Dad and Derek were hunting partners. Derek was a phenomenal chef. He passed away now, but he was a phenomenal cook. And as soon as we got a moose, that's the first thing we did. As soon as we got the heart out, we got Derek, gave Derek the heart, and then Father and I took care of getting the meat and everything out of the woods. And by the time we got everything out, we had a good meal waiting for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll just touch this real quick. I don't know if anyone else out there in other parts of North America or whoever else is watching wherever with moose, if they got issues with cadmium, high levels of cadmium in the liver. If you're only going to eat the liver once a year, chances are you're not going to be getting poisoned with it. But I just thought I'd bring that out there. We get a warning every year in the hunting guide about consuming the liver and the heart because of the high levels of cadmium. But if it's not something you're eating every day, I don't think it's that big of an issue. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Kirk, you familiar with the problems with the cadmium in the liver and the heart?
Yeah, I know they tell us not to eat the liver off our moose here, but they've never said nothing about the heart actually. But may have to look into that. But I know they definitely say not to eat the liver off even our deer or whatever neither. So.
What if you're eating a moose liver one day, seal liver the next, a caribou liver the next? Would that be too much?
No, you're good. You're okay.
Yeah.
You turn off the lights and you're glowing then, and you're okay.
I'm not really prone to eating one animal, you know. Ducks got livers too. They're awesome too.
Yeah.
I know on the rabbits. Anytime I catch a rabbit,
There.
I always check for white spots on the liver. That's the one thing that Father always showed us. And if they had white spots on the liver, then that rabbit become bait.
Oh, you didn't
Yep.
eat the rabbit at all?
No, if it had white spots on the liver, we wouldn't eat the rabbit. It'd be a bait rabbit then.
Okay.
If it didn't have a good healthy liver.
Really?
What's that?
What's that a sign of?
Well, I don't know. That's a sign of me listening to Father, I suppose. But no, he always had us check for white spots on the liver, and if it had any white spots on the liver, then that rabbit was used just for bait for trapping.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know what it is. Cirrhosis of the liver. You drink it too much.
Look at mine then.
I see Prepare to Survive says he gets the same warning for deer with the cadmium, and he's wondering where it comes from.
Mhm.
And my guess, and you guys can probably reassure on this, is that minerals, you got all those minerals in the ground, and the minerals obviously coming through the soil and stuff, and it's getting through in the vegetation. If they're eating a high level of the cadmium that's in the soil, then that's from what I've been understood anyways, that's where it comes from, is in the ground, right?
Your guess is as good as mine on that one, boy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I don't.
I know here. I know here. We've got the woodland caribou that are up on the highway every day, dozens of times. They'll only go off the edge of the highway maybe 10 feet and by the hundreds. And every time the salt truck goes up the road, they hear it, and they're up on the highway, and they're licking that road salt like it's going out of style.
Mm-hmm.
And like any animal, any wild animal, you got to have sodium in your diet. But I guess the biggest concern is like it's just not 100% road salt that they're putting out there anymore. There's urea and stuff that they're putting in it as well. So you got other minerals that these animals are consuming at higher levels concentration than they normally would if they're out away from the highways. So.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Gitchy gummy outdosing said much like the mercury in the fish. That's another topic that's any hydro reservoirs. And I know there's one going on in your backyard there now, Charlie, and Busy Bayman, you're aware of it too. What's that going to do once Muskrat Falls comes online? All the seal meat and all the char and all the Atlantic salmon, like it's like 200 times the level of what they initially thought. It's sad what it's going to do.
Well, I know up at I can't even think of the name of it now, but it's out there in up at Churchill. It's a popular spot where everybody likes to go up and fish.
Lobstick.
Lobstick. There you go. The mercury levels are so high up there. You're only allowed to eat one fish a month from lobstick, apparently. Yeah, and you can catch some winternish up there and some huge lakers and stuff like there. And yeah, just apparently one a month. So and that's due to the hydro up at Churchill, right? So yeah, for sure, it's going to have a huge impact on the on everything downstream of it.
Could have cleared off burden. That was an extra like $2 million to do on the flooded area, and the government decided not to, and that would have took care of the mercury, right? And they never. So. That's another reason why the mercury levels are going to be 200 times higher than they reasonably initially expected. So that kind of sucks when the government takes shortcuts like that and not think about the long-term environmental aspect of it. Sucks.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, I can't express what the Labrador Mad Trapper thinks about that, but if anybody wants to go in there and read his comment. He kind of spells it out kind of like Andrew Stanley would, let's say.
Yeah, first of all, clarify where the mercury actually comes from, I guess. Well, mercury is held in very minute amounts of all living organic matter, and when those matter decay naturally, the mercury goes back to the soil and is remediated. But if you flood an entire landmass that still has all the organic matter left on it, the water ends up leachating the mercury. Now, there's only a small, tiny amount of mercury in a tree, not enough to hurt an elk or moose or deer or nothing. But you take 10 million trees and leach it out into a body of water, the mercury levels become so high, and the fish are feeding on the plankton and the bait fish there and there, and it goes right through the entire food system until it's the biggest fish. And by that time, the mercury levels are so high in him, it only makes him edible, like Charlie said, maybe once a month. Mercury is one of these funny things. It's kind of like lead. Well, any heavy metal, if you ingest it. Cadmium is another one. They're not poisonous if you eat it, but once you eat a minute amount, like the fish did, like the deer did, your body has no way of getting it out of your system, so it just accumulates in your system until it reaches a toxic level.
Yeah, according to Labrador Mad Trapper, now for the study that he did, he should be dead. But yeah, Dave Wilcox, you're right about the PCBs and the Air Force bases. There's a shitload of that stuff was buried in and around Stephenville area, and for years and years, it was kind of buried right between the two water supplies, for the one for the town and one for the higher part of town. And man, there's so much cancer back home; it's unreal. And a lot of people blame it on the PCBs and the stuff that we've been drinking for years and years as our water supply. They since have gone and put new I can't even remember what kind of wells they're called, but they drilled a whole shitload of wells, artesian wells, and that's what we get our water supply off of now back home. But yeah, that PVCs, man, that's bad stuff, and you're right. There's a lot of that stuff around the old Air Force bases.
PCBs are a totally different.
It's in Goose Bay as well, Charlie.
Metals. Yeah, PCBs are a totally different ball game than heavy metals, Charlie. There's polychlorinated biphenyls, and they're big molecules, and when they interact with other molecules, they make a mess of stuff. I'm telling you, they're dangerous things. And you know what's funny? Chlorine is categorized in the same bunch of chemicals there. Similar properties. And we all drink fluorinated water. Well, I don't, but a lot of people do.
Yeah, me neither. Kirk, is there much of that up in your area?
Oh yeah, we have actually we have a nuclear plant about 10 miles just up the highway here, right along the Petawawa River actually. So back in the old days there, that's like anything, they didn't care about it. They didn't care about it. You just buried it in the ground, but they're really taking steps there now to basically re-dig it all up and do it properly and dispose of this stuff. And we've had stuff coming from all over the world. They're actually being stored up here, but that's basically our main problem here is just the nuclear plant. Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in Owen Sound there, Kirk, south of you there, and they had the nuclear power plant out on the Bruce Peninsula there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And awesome bass fishing in December and January month because the place never froze over. All the hot water
exchange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
You better not have been in smugglers.
And I didn't catch any 3-eyed fish. Sorry.
I lived in Owen Sound in 90. I lived in Owen Sound in 90. I think it was 94, 95. Playing junior hockey there. The Bayshore Center was right there up from the nuclear plant. I was only there probably a quarter of a season, and I guess I kind of, I don't know, I guess I got a little homesick and wanted to get back to Labrador, and the level of hockey wasn't as good there, but yeah, Owen Sound was a pretty cool spot. I remember the salmon fishing derbies there in, I guess it's Georgian Bay or whatever it is. They're right into the city.
Yeah.
There were like probably 4,000 anglers there fishing. I couldn't get over it. It was the first time I seen a fishing derby with that many boats out in one little, you know, it wasn't a very big harbor, but unbelievable what I seen there. And I was only, like I said, I was only like 14 or 15 or something. I was young fella, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's nothing to gaff into a 40, 50-pound coho there. And I was telling somebody the other day, I mean, I can remember walking through the park up above in the river in the fall of the year and just reach down and under the bridge and grab this 40-pound coho by the tail and yank it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to it. I mean, Dave, they're big fish, but you ever hook a deadhead? Same thing. Not a real waiting fish, but I tell you what I really used to enjoy catching there is that same river has some really good steelhead and rainbow fly fishing. And that was awesome. And you're allowed to night fish there too. That was another thing we used to enjoy a lot, night fishing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because where I was staying, I was living with the coach. I was living with the coach at the time, and our house was right on that river. And my bedroom, I was on the second story or whatever, right over top of the pool, the swimming pool. And I used to see Coleman lanterns all night long on that river right in the backyard. And this is what they were doing, was nighttime fishing. And, of course, here in this province, it's unheard of, right? But, yeah, it was pretty wild how many people would be out all hours of the night fishing for the steelheads.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have a few lady friends on the go at the time, and we used to do a lot of night fishing. Well, I used to wiggle a worm. Same thing.
You and me going fishing in the dark. That was probably quite common when you're up there too, right?
Yeah, I lived up there in 97, 98, Dave. I
Okay.
live right on 8th Street, just down the road from Smugglers.
Yeah. That was the
That's the
that was
local.
the
That's the
first time I
local
was ever in
theater.
yeah, that was the first time I was ever in an establishment like that, and needless to say, my eyes just kind of, instantly.
Yeah, that was awesome. I live just down the road from it.
All right,
Wow.
boys. It's getting late here now for me, and I got to go to work in the morning. So I'm gonna sign off now too, guys. So everybody take care out there and have a good chat.
Yeah, good luck, Charlie.
All right, take care.
Later, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, Owen sounds awesome spot. Actually, I was a farm. Well, I think we talked about this last week. I think I was staying on the farm there, just outside Owen Sound for a year or so, and then I moved in town with the uncle. Yeah, that was an awesome experience,
It's,
Dave. And how they had,
yeah, it is.
I guess it's still the same thing up there now. Kirk probably helped me out on this one. But you used to get an outdoors card, and you just buy your stamps and cards, whether it was trapping, hunting, deer, moose, bear, fish, whatever. You just got a stamp for the card. Here, Dave, you know as full well as I do, man. We almost got to carry around a filing cabinet with us, man. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
I got a stack of
Yeah,
papers
it's
for trapping. I got a stack of papers for salmon fishing. I got to snag tags, and if I go moose
Yeah.
hunting, well, I got to take the trailer and tow to carry all the gear that comes with that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we're behind the times here on the East Coast when it comes to having our licenses and permits and stuff to go in the outdoors. So I carry a Ziploc baggie, the big one, and that's probably about that thick with all my outdoor permits and licenses and all that. And yeah, it's a little bit behind the times considering, like I say, that was back in the 90s when you were there, and I remember recycling was common up there back in early 90s when I was there in Owen Sound. You had your blue bins and you had all that. Recycling only came into effect here within the last few years, so
Recycling.
that wasn't yesterday.
Yeah.
But they recycle condoms here.
Just turn them inside out and use them again.
Yeah, no, you just turn them inside out and shake the fuck out of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well.
Well, guys, we're gonna end this on a funny note,
Yeah.
on a recycling note. And, any of you guys that are still tuning in, Norm from Time on the Line, he's going to be taking over the chat again, the Trappers Chat, and it will be at the same regular time, Sunday, 7 p.m. Central, which is like 5 p.m. Pacific and 9:30 Newfie time. If you're in between that, just add an hour, subtract an hour, and he'll probably be doing a preview for the next chat sometime this week, and hopefully everyone will tune in to Time on the Line's channel, not only for the Trappers Chat, but check out. He's going to be, I guess, uploading some pretty cool footage of this year's trapping on his line. So hopefully we can all be there for him and tune in. But I'll definitely be there, guys. I know Kirk and Chris, you'll definitely be there, and the regulars. And who knows what next week holds, but I'm sure we'll all look forward to it. So,
Yeah.
Having said that, guys, we'll sign off. And again, a big thank you, Kirk, for helping us through this past month. Same thing, Chris. So,
Yeah, and a big thanks to you too, Dave.
everybody, take care out there.
Yeah,
big-
sorry I was a bit
No worries.
there on the first of it, guys. I don't know what was going on there. I'm definitely going to have to find that mic. I'm going to have to beat one of my kids, I think.
Yeah. And a big thanks to you, Dave.
It's always Dave. It's a pleasure, man. I actually got to sit back tonight and listen to all of you guys, and that was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I like done that on YouTube. Yeah, well, anyway,
All right,
Kirk,
guys.
the best of luck, Dave. Best of luck,
Yeah.
Kirk. And
Yeah,
I'd
you
like to take
too.
a minute and thank everybody for watching and asking the questions, guys. This is what it's all about. If without you guys, we wouldn't be here. We could do this on the telephone.
Yeah. And a big thanks to Dave. Big thanks to Dave for taking it over for the month there. It would have been a shame to see it sit idle. And a big thanks for Dave to stepping up to the plate and running it for the last month. And he did an awesome job, man. Good job, Dave.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys.
Take her easy.
Take care. Safe on the trap line, guys.
Okay. Talk to you later.